Yeah, here's this bad penny. He keeps showing up when you least expect it. I'm Rolly Simmons, and I'm supervisor for District 1 Yavapai County, and I'm kind of filling in for somebody else that was supposed to do that, so bear with me. You're stuck with me right now. But I'm here to welcome all of you, and I really appreciate the good turnout for Ken. And are we not all excited about this?
Yeah!
Woo! You betcha. Prescott's own hometown guy, Yavapai County's own hometown guy, the state of Arizona's own hometown guy. So we're going to start off here with Tisoc Munoz. Munoz. Yeah, I got it right. With the Arizona Correctional Police Officers, who's going to come up here and say a few words. Tisoc?
Thank you. Thank you everybody for being here. My name is Tisoc Munoz. I'm the Executive Director for Arizona Correctional Police Officers Association. We're here to endorse Mr. Ken Bennett. And a lot of people ask us why we're endorsing him. We know Mr. Ken Bennett for a long time. As you will remember, 2007, 2006 was the only time in the state that the budget was balanced without gimmicks. It was good budget, and we all know what happened. The state was doing great, and the taxes were cut, and money was left over in the bank, thanks to his work. Mr. Ken Bennett.
We gave you guys a raise.
On top of that, yes, we did.
All right. I'm not Chip. We're going to go to one more. Chip Davis.
Good afternoon. So, I'm hugely honored to be up here today. Probably as hugely honored as you are all to be out there, because how often do you get to say one of my great friends is running for governor? So it's been 150 years since the declaration of the Arizona Territory. And in 150 years, there's only been 3 governors that were natives of Arizona. And there was only one from Yavapai County, and that was Campbell in 1919. I think it's about time we made that 4 native Arizonans governor. If you haven't noticed, politics in Arizona, if not the nation as a whole, is in a little disrepair, and I think it's time that we brought somebody in that's proven their experience, they've proven their leadership. I know I can make that statement. I know my family has been friends with the Bulicheks and the Bennetts for 3 generations now, and the folks are definitely good quality Arizona family. Some of the things that Ken Bennett is going to bring so that we're not buying an unknown product. He spent 4 years on the Prescott City Council. He spent 7 years on the Arizona State Board of Education. He spent 8 years in the Arizona Senate, and half of that as the president. And he is currently the Arizona Secretary of State. All of these times that he's been there, he's always been responsive to Yavapai County and to our citizens. And I say that because a lot of times we elect folks, and once they leave the county boundary and get down to the state of Maricopa, they kind of forget where they come from. And Ken has never done that. He's always been there for us every time, irregardless of what the need has been, and irregardless of the position. He never forgot his roots, he never forgot where he came from, and that's quite an impressive career. And if you look how young he is, I mean, it's like, how did he do so much? So at the age 9, when he was elected to the Prescott City Council, no, I mention that because it's an impressive career, but it's not what impresses me the most, and I suspect it's probably not what impresses you all the most. What impresses me is how he did it. See, Ken's just a normal guy like us. He grew up working in a gas station. He grew up driving trucks. He put himself through college and got an accounting degree. And then when he started his political career, he still didn't sway away from his family values. He was home every night doing homework with his kids. He coached AYSO soccer. He was active in his church this entire time. He was a scoutmaster. He was a Little League coach. And all the while he's doing this political career and he's taking care of this family, he was also taking care of the family business. He worked full-time with Bennett Oil. He worked with Bennett Glass. His family roots come from the Wholesome Bread distribution. He's got an ethic. And he spent his entire work time signing the front side of checks, keeping people employed. He understands the value of business and entrepreneurship. So today, I'm going to tell you, Arizona is in need of a leader that can bring folks together. Probably never more so than in our history do we need people to be brought together. Arizona is in need of a leader that has a passion and puts the best interest of our state of Arizona first. Arizona needs a leader that works to find out win-win solutions to all of these crazy issues that confront us. Arizona needs a leader that has proven his servant leadership abilities. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's time for a common sense rural Arizona governor. And I'm proud to introduce to you the true son of Arizona, our next governor, Ken Bennett.
Thank you, Chip. Thank you, T-Sock. Thank you all, Rolly. And most important, thank you to all of you for being here today. It's good to be home. You know, I didn't realize when I was appointed Secretary of State that there was a little thing in the Constitution that says the statewide elected officials have to live in Phoenix. It's a rotten part of our state constitution, but I had to follow it. So Gene and I had to move down there. We have missed all of you, and our hearts are here, and we're happy to be back. Now, I wanted Chip to introduce me, and then he gave my whole speech. Good, yes, so you don't have to listen to two of them. I was raised by people, and I need to acknowledge some of them are here. My parents, Roy and Donna Bennett, are here today. There they are. They're a little bit older than me, and they drove to Phoenix, then they drove to Tucson, then they drove back to Phoenix, and then they're back here to Prescott, all today and last night late. So I also have my wife and one of our children, Gene and Dana, are here with me. I know I've got two sisters and nephews and nieces. I've got all, and then it's going to get really ugly if I try to introduce everybody that I know here. That's right, three. We got three sisters. Lisa came up. That's right.
Got her ready.
Wow. Thank you, Dad. Appreciate that. I was raised by people who taught me that leadership and service are the same word. And the only way you can really lead someone is to serve them and to love them and look out for their interests. Now, they looked out for the interests of their own family by starting businesses and running them and supporting our families and the families of hundreds of employees, many of whom are here today, and I appreciate them being here. In fact, I can't go on without saying I think our longest serving employee that has been with our company is Sandy Riley, right there in the back. 40 years last month. She's been with our family, and her husband Tom. Thank you both for being here. We were raised with service and leadership, and build a business and start something and make it grow. And we were fortunate. Our family goes back 4 generations in Arizona. Great-great-grandparents down on the border in the Douglas area with a mercantile store. Great-grandfather who went to Mesa and Gilbert, started a dairy. And then grandparents that moved up here. Grandma and Grandpa's phone number here in Prescott was 49. 49. And when Grandma died a few years ago, I made sure that we got that number. By then it had become 928-445-2949. But that 49 always inspired me that I came from people who thought not only of themselves and their generation, but the generations to come. Like the people of this state who 125 years ago created the Salt River Project, like generations later the Central Arizona Project. And those are great, wonderful things, but the heart of Arizona are the individual family businesses, many of which are represented right here. And Prescott, as the original territorial capital, we have a heritage, and I am so proud to be a Prescott boy, and will always be. I appreciate Chip mentioning not just the public service career. Yes, I was raised to be involved, and I did so through the City Council and State Board of Education and Legislature. And a lot of people in the state know me from that perspective, but I appreciate that he mentioned even a longer term in the private sector, signing the fronts of checks and not just the backs. We need our government leaders to understand that concept, that our society only works when small and medium-sized businesses can support their families and provide for the next generation. I envision in Arizona, imagine in Arizona where every child in this state has the opportunity for a world-class education. Doesn't matter whether you come from Scottsdale or Benson or Sonoyta or Tuba City. Imagine in Arizona where businesses can start and grow and thrive here, where the most creative minds from the younger generation can stay here instead of having to feel like they've got to go somewhere else in order to make a living for their family. Imagine transportation systems and things working in our state so that people can get around and get from one part of the state to another. Imagine an education system that is top-notch, both at the K-12 system and in our colleges and universities. Imagine an economy where we are not only growing the businesses here local, but we are attracting companies from around the country. I'll close with one quick story. My daughter says I've been telling too many stories. I'll make it quick. About a year ago, I was talking at an economic forum. A gentleman who runs one of the economic development companies down in Phoenix, trying to attract companies to Arizona. They'd been tracking 300 companies in just a 12-month period that had left California because California was raising taxes and making the red tape of bureaucracy drive those companies out of their state. 300 companies they were tracking and trying to get to come to Arizona, and they only got one. We can and will do better than that. We're going to get the economic juices of Arizona going so that when companies realize they can't make it in some of these other states, they need an environment where they've got good workers, where the education system is producing some of the finest minds in the world. I've got at least 2 former middle school teachers right here who I remember fondly for what they did for me. Imagine an Arizona where the next generation can count on an even better place than what the previous ones gave to them. And that's the goal that I have. That's the responsibility that we all have, is to pass on a better Arizona to our children and grandchildren than the ones our grandparents gave to us. And it's a great place, and we love it. But we can make it better, and with your help, we will win the race. We will win the Republican primary in August of next year, and then we will win the governor's race in November. Thank you for being here, and please, thank you.